So in today's podcast, we are going to be looking at the Skool news of a few days ago. And I've got Sharon joining me, who has her own Skool community called Onliners. Thanks so much for joining me today, Sharon.
Thanks, Des. I'm very excited to be here.
Excellent. So let's get into it. We're going to have a look at the AutoMod sneak peek. So let me just share my screen.
New feature that's live right now, spam risk score. So we continue to improve it, and we've now added it to DMs.
Nice.
So to show you what it looks like, here I've got a community, I've got a membership request, and it says spam risk score high.
Ooh.
We noticed a lot of people were saying, like, what does this mean? What should I do? So we added something next to it, and you can just click it now, and it says high risk members are likely to spam or scam. We don't recommend letting them into your community or engaging with them in conversations. And our system looks at different signals to identify high risk users. So now it tells you what it means, which is nice. And it's not perfect, but I would be careful with people that we are flagging.
Yeah, and sometimes it lets spammers through, and we'll continue to make it better to try and reduce the number of spammers to get through.
Yeah. Now, you know, this is very good for stopping new high-risk members coming in. What about members that might already be inside or that, right? So we've done something there too. Now, if somebody tries to DM you and we think they're high risk, we put this massive red thing on their chat. So it doesn't matter if they've already been chatting for a month or whatever, boom, it's just right there. Or if they're trying to start the conversation, you know, we've noticed they try to start with simple things like hi, hello.
How are you?
Yeah. So now it's hard to do that when it just says this. And again, we show that little thing right here. What we recommend doing is just clicking block. Boom. Done. They won't know that you blocked them, and you'll never see them again.
So I was going to stop it right there. Sharon, what do you think of this? I know we briefly spoke about this last week, but they're doing it again this week. They're talking about this. So this must be a huge problem for Skool at the moment. What do you think of this new feature?
Yeah, it is a huge problem. I remember requesting a platform-wide solution very soon after I came onto Skoolers because it was such a big problem. And so I'm really thrilled at these coming in. And even the way they've implemented it, they've made it so much easier. Before, you had to know that those three little dots at the top of the chat square would drop down a menu, and that allowed you to block or report someone. Now you don't have to know any of that. It just gives you the block option straight off the bat. So they made it a lot easier, and I think it'll be better for every community owner.
Excellent. And I think as well, I think they mentioned it later on, if you've got a large community where you've got lots of people coming through, you can now leave it on just auto approve. I haven't personally done this, and I don't think you do either, but the fact that you can just leave it on auto approve and just let Skool take care of the system. So I think later on they're going to show us that you can actually see who has actually gone into the spam folder, and then you can go and review that. If you get the time, you don't have to do it manually anymore. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's great because it just disappears. You don't even have to know about it. And the thinking behind that is that they want to give community owners more time to focus on the things that matter, which are the community members that are real and genuine, not the ones that are spammers and scammers. So they've taken away all of that admin and all of that extra time that you spend going, oh, is this person genuine or not? They've just made it really easy. And they say time is money, so it's got to be right for monetization, right?
Absolutely. I mean, is this something that you do? Do you actually, when somebody comes into your community or applies to your community, do you actually do any further investigation, or you just take it as read that they spam and you just don't let them into your community?
Well, I'll talk about before this tool and after this tool. Before this tool, I used to do quite a bit of investigation. So I would check out their profile, I'd check out the contributions that they had, the number of activities they had, what different groups they were in. And so if there was anything that looked like drop shipping, for example, they wouldn't be part of my group. If they didn't have many contributions, or if their contributions were quite spammy and trying to promote their own products, I wouldn't look at them at all. I'd just decline their thing. Now that this tool is in, I've got quite lazy. I just rely on the tool and it tells me. Yeah. So it's really
I must
helpful.
admit, it's very rarely wrong. I've got to admit that. It's very rarely wrong. Normally when you have that spam little message on there, it is normally a spam bot or a spam person.
Yeah, well, as Kirby said, they're kind of erring on the side of caution, so it will let some spammers through, and they're going to try and make it better and better. And so I have seen a few that haven't had the actual warning on, so I've checked them out the old way, and I've still declined them because they don't meet my kind of standards, but maybe they're so new they don't have enough signal to give to schoolers yet. But you know, I'm sure that they will be working on that. So at the moment, it's about, I reckon, about 90% hit and maybe about 10% miss. So it's making a huge difference.
Excellent. Thanks a lot for that. Let's watch the rest of it.
Cool.
They disappear out of your chat inbox.
Let's go.
And they won't know that anything happened, which is perfect.
Boom.
So that should be very useful. A little look at the roadmap. So in progress, we are still improving the risk score algorithm. Basically, the different signals we look at to determine if someone's high risk or not, and then extending it to more areas like DMs, membership requests, things like that. We are improving notifications. So the next thing you'll see here is the ability to filter your notifications by type, like mentions, likes, following, call recordings, etc. And then the big one, traffic sources, being able to see where your members come from, like Instagram, YouTube, Facebook ads, Google search.
I'm going to pause that. That one's huge, Sharon. Trying to find out where your traffic sources are coming from, as it exists at the moment, is nigh on impossible. But if they can actually bring in this new feature where you can actually find out where your traffic is coming from, that's going to be amazing for us creators.
When we get it, it's just going to go berserk, I reckon. Like so many people are hanging out for it. Yeah.
And to be honest with you, they've already got it, haven't they? They've got it in the back end. They can actually see where the traffic is coming from. It's just us as members, we don't know where that traffic is coming from at the moment.
Yeah, they've been working on this project for about 6 months, tweaking it, because it is really hard. If someone comes to a YouTube video and then sees your Instagram, profile account and goes there and then goes to Skool and then finds your community, who do you attribute that to? Do you do it to YouTube or do you do it to Instagram? It's kind of a hard puzzle to solve, and so they've really had to put a lot of work into it, and that's why it's taken so long. But yeah, every time they show what they're doing and they can see the numbers, I get jealous because I know, like, if you're looking at monetization, you want to know where is the best place to spend most of my time and where am I going to make the most money from spending that time. So the return on investment is going to be huge when you know that you're on the right platform, whether that's YouTube or Instagram or whatever it is for you. We just need to know. So Skool reckons it's going to be, I think, early Feb, they said. So just hanging on.
Yeah, I'm excited, really excited. Let's play the rest of it. Thanks for that.
Full network. This one is going to be a big one.
Do you have rough timelines? I know people will ask.
Sometime early Feb.
We're going to hold them to that.
What, all of them?
For traffic sources. Risk score, we're improving it bit by bit. Small pieces just keep coming out. We'll keep announcing it. This one, not 100% sure yet. I would say sometime in Feb.
Nice.
Then up next, moderation tools. So we're going to give you more tools to help you moderate your community, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek at what these things are
Thank you.
soon. Page load speed. We want to make Skool load faster for everyone, especially international people. We're obviously going to improve discovery. That's our major project this year, where we will spend most of our time. Search results, categories, the ranking system, all of it. And then, languages, currencies.
I'm just going to pause it there. The discovery improvement, that's going to be interesting. I know you've got very strong opinions about this, actually. I've seen you posting a lot about the discovery side of things, Sharon. What do you think about that then, the improvements that you're going to make with discovery?
Well, discovery improvements describe their whole sort of at least 3 months, the first 3 months of the year, but really they've said all year what they want to work on is discovery improvements. So the ethos is if they win, anyone who wins, Skool wins. So we all win together, and people are already looking at the discovery and how can I get higher and what's my ranking and all of that. Once we get better improvements in that, again, it's just really going to help with monetization, isn't it? Because people will be able to find your community quicker.
Yeah, and also as well, it's a bit of a head scratcher at the moment how it's actually all worked out, because you've got new communities that are ranking on the first page and existing ones that are doing a lot of work within their community that aren't ranking anywhere. So yeah, hopefully they can actually improve that side of things, because it just kind of rewards the hard work that you're putting into your community, and it'd just be nice to see that recognized.
Yeah, and again, it's all about time, right? If you're spending a lot of time on discovery improvements and it's not paying off, it's frustrating. And also it means that you're wasting that time there where you could be spending it on something else that will give you better monetization. So all these things are going to improve the efficiency of every Skool community, because at the end of the day, they're all business, not all of them, but most of them are businesses. And if you can improve their business, then you can improve the whole platform, right?
Absolutely. Thanks for that. Let's play the rest.
Audience.
You said this thing on one of the team calls that was interesting. You said, we want Skool. We want people to say about Skool, wow, it's perfect. There's no bugs. It's quick. And Skool gives us members. You said that was like the dream testimonial. And all of those up nexts kind of link towards that.
Right now, I'm not so worried about adding new features. What I'm trying to do is fix the problems. So if Skool isn't loading fast, make it load fast. If there's bugs, fix them. And if there is spam, get rid of it. Because what's the point in adding more features if there's these other problems, right?
Yeah.
And then show you where your members are coming from. These aren't necessarily new features, but they're massive improvements to what we've already got.
Yep.
Including, notifications and things. Yeah. So sneak peek, moderation tools. So some things we're going to do here to help you moderate your communities. And this really isn't much of an issue for smaller groups and paid groups.
Yes.
So like when your group is small, like 100, 200, even up to like 500 people, it's pretty chill moderating it, honestly.
Yep.
And when your group's paid, it's very chill moderating it because everyone's paid. It's when you tend to have a bigger free group. That's when your group's like 1,000 members or more.
Yeah.
And it's free. So this is where these tools really come in. So I showed you how we can, we can label a DM conversation if we think it's high risk. Well, we're going to go like one step further and just not even deliver it to you. We're just going to just filter it straight to a spam folder, send you no notification, no email, nothing.
Nice.
So, because if we think something is spam, let's just not even bother you. Yeah.
I like it.
So just go straight there. That will ruin spammers' day. Because they will, on their end, they won't even know. So they'll just continue to DM, but meanwhile, we're just routing them somewhere else.
Nice.
Yeah. So that will be one of the next touches. Then AutoMod to flag high spam score content. So, if we know someone is high risk, right, then we should just route their DMs to spam. But what say a high risk person does a comment or a post? Let's just automatically flag it as high risk. And let's not wait for a user to report it. Let's make the system do it, and we'll call the system AutoMod.
Ooh.
So think of AutoMod as like a member or a moderator that can just flag different things for you.
Yeah, and it works 24/7.
Yeah. And even if there's nothing wrong with the content, because you know these people might start with something just like, hey, how are you? How are you going?
Yeah.
They're kind of smart. And there's nothing wrong with that content, but we know that there's something suspicious about the user. So let's just flag it.
Nice.
And then you can take it out. Yeah. So then if we get them, if we flag their posts and comments, we flag their DMs, we separate their DMs into a spam inbox, and then we flag them as membership requests. I mean, we're starting to get them from all the different angles. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
AutoMod is coming. Ooh.
And then, you know, a little glimpse into the future of AutoMod. I think AutoMod's going to be quite a cool feature. So what things might it do? It might do things like automatically flag links. Because let's say, you know, you might want to be you might want anyone who shares a link to be just like flagged, or particular keywords, right?
Yep.
No and spam content. We Skool, the platform, know the different types.
Yeah, maybe it's worth saying like Telegram links and WhatsApp links are often nefarious. Dropshipping, e-commerce, digital marketing are a little bit sketchy sometimes.
Are you educating the spammers?
Johnny, cut this out.
No, that's pretty basic stuff anyway. But basically, we can update these things like no and spam content and just automatically flag it for you guys. But then it can go a bit further into some very interesting territory.
Ooh.
This is very interesting to me. Number 3, what if we can flag AI generated content or content we think looks AI generated? Because, and I've started to see this as a common pattern with other people too. I think this might be everyone in the world, but maybe it's more particular to people on Skool. But people don't like reading AI generated content. Personally, I hate it.
Just going to stop it there, Sharon. So what are your thoughts on this? Obviously, I've got my thoughts. So I want to hear yours first, and then I'll tell the audience what I think.
Oh, dropping me in it. Okay. Well, I just want to go back a bit to the auto DM tool for a second. When they say, you know, we're going to flag it, this post has been auto DM'd, not auto DM, AutoMod flagged, do you want to delete it? I assume that that's only going to be the community owner that can see that, because only owners and moderators are the ones who can delete posts. So I don't think anyone else will be able to see it.
No, I think that will be the case.
Yeah, and if no one else can see the actual warning, then maybe in the future they will make it so that no one else can even see the post. So you have to sort of either say, yes, delete it, or no, I think this one's fair. So maybe in the future, there'll be even more filtering on that. So I'm excited about that tool. But as far as AI goes, I'm sure you've got your your comments. I think that there's got to be nuance when you're dealing with the AI, and they do actually go on to give a bit of nuance about what they're talking about. So if you're using AI content in your community, and I assume most people are in some form, don't freak out and think, oh, I'm not going to be able to use AI at all, because they are taking quite a nuanced approach. And most of what I've seen happening is going to be okay, where people use it as an assistant. I think the main thing that they're looking at is those really long posts that sound really robot-y. They don't sound very human. No one's edited them and injected their personality. So yeah, my thoughts are bring it on. I don't want to read long AI robot-y posts in my community. But I know you've got thoughts, Des. Tell us.
Yeah. I mean, not that I disagree with you, actually. I actually agree with pretty much everything you've said. The only thing I don't like to see is, you know, the kind of emojis with the ticks and the crosses and all that sort of thing in a post, and it's a long post, yeah, that kind of can be a bit jarring. I also don't mind as well, and I did a post in Schoolers yesterday, I'll probably share it in the link in the description, about the way I use Loom. So I record a Loom video and then I use the transcript from that to actually write my post. So in essence, it's pretty much all of my thoughts that are going into that post. It's not me grabbing stuff from the internet and then going back to Claude or ChatGPT and getting it to write stuff. It's all my own thoughts. So I find that the actual ChatGPTs of the world kind of organize your thoughts really well in a post. And as long as it doesn't look like AI has actually written this and it's your thoughts, I really don't have a problem with people using the likes of ChatGPT to actually write their content. As long as it's 80 to 90% their thoughts and it's just organized it, I really don't have any problem with it at all.
Yeah, well, they're not going to have a problem with that either. They mentioned, like, if you're just using it to check your grammar, that's okay. If you're using it because English is your second language or any other language you want to use it, the main thing is they're trying to discover, is this your original content? Is this your original thought? And have you used AI to enhance that? Which you obviously do in your process with Loom. So I think, that's going to be fine. It's just when people are saying, give me 20 posts on this topic, and then they just whack them all up and flood it with too much content that doesn't help anyone. So just AI slop, as Sam calls it.
Unfortunately, I think he's going to be up against a losing battle, though. I think it's going to get more sophisticated as time goes on. But yeah, I tend to agree with them as well. I think there's a lot coming online at the moment, and most of us can spot it a mile away when we see it. We want to see less of it in the community, most definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I just play it on.
It's just trash.
Yeah. If someone just says, like, write me a post about this, then the post is going to be dreadful.
Yeah, I don't want to read some AI trash. Like, I want to talk to other people. And I think that's what makes Skool special right now, is the rest of the internet is kind of going to hell. And, Skool is like one of the last sanctuaries of like humans.
Yeah.
And so I think we can probably provide some tools here that will help identify AI generated content.
Yeah. Using AI, if you speak a different language, to try and get your grammar right is fine, or to try and make something more concise is fine. But just writing a full post with no human input, just with AI, is dreadful.
Yeah, it's one. So we can be clear here. I think, like, if you need help with grammar or spelling, and you copy paste your paragraph into ChatGPT and you ask it to clean it up a bit, fine.
Yep.
Or if you write something and it's quite big and you want it to be said with fewer words, fine.
Even that image.
It's when the original idea wasn't even yours, then it's just trash.
Yes.
And I think if we start to flag this stuff and weed this stuff out, I think communities will be a lot nicer and people would appreciate it. But I'm curious to see what you guys think of this whole AI generated content thing. Another one is like cross-posted content, which is like, sometimes someone posts something and you see it in your community and you're like, did that person write that for my community? Or are they just trying to like post a thing across different communities to try to like
get members?
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Sharon? Again, I've got my thoughts on this. What do you think about what Sam just said about the cross-posting thing?
Well, I know someone who has set up a little section of their own community to cross-post any posts that they put in Schoolers, just to alert their own community to it. Does that sound familiar, Des? But that's not what they're talking about. What they're talking about is when people just go to lots of different communities and they're usually trying to promote something and they just have the exact same content in all of the different communities. That's what they're trying to avoid. And I'm all for that because you want engagement in your community, right? You don't want people going to your community and going, oh, I've seen that on 6 different communities today. you want them to go, oh, this is new. I wonder what they've got to say, because that curiosity is the fuel of an engagement transaction. So I'm really all for this tool. I can't wait till they bring it in. And I really want to say I love the way that Skool, the way they approach things is tools, not teach. They don't come on and say, listen, all of you guys, you should stop cross-posting, or all of you guys, you should stop using AI. They develop tools that make that the default. And so you don't even have to think about it. They've taken care of it for you. And that helps, again, if you're a community owner, takes away all the time that you would otherwise spend on even educating your own community, let alone educating yourself, and you can just let the tools do their job. I think it's a brilliant approach to it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't actually have a problem with cross-posting as long as the content has been edited and it's talking about the same topic, but it's just edited differently. What I don't like to see is where somebody creates a post maybe for their community and then they don't change anything about it at all, and they just post it in like 3, 4, 5 or different communities. I really hate to see that. And to be honest with you, I don't think it helps the person's brand when they do stuff like that either. Because if I've just saw one of the posts that you've written, I go to another community and it's exactly the same post. Before long, I'm probably going to stop reading the post from that person. So honestly, I do not have a problem with this new tool, but what I don't like is people just doing the same thing in several communities and they don't edit it. I must admit, I'm a massive fan of repurposing. I love repurposing. If I write something for my community, I don't have any problem with writing something very similar for another community, but it is a different article, but just on the same topic.
Yeah, I've had people say to me when I've posted in my community, this would make a great Schoolers post. And I'm like, oh yeah, I should have thought about that. And but in Schoolers, the rules are different to my community. The audience is different to my community. So I always edit it to make it a different post, just using the same core content. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really important. And not only that as well, I think the mentality of Schoolers is different from people in your own community as well. You're talking to a lot of new community owners, so the language has to be different, and even the tone needs to be a little bit different when you're writing a Schoolers post. So yeah, this is going to be a welcome addition in my respect. I actually think it's going to be so popular. I think everyone's going to start using this.
Definitely.
We can flag for you if that content has been posted around in other places.
Nice.
So lots of things that will help you moderate your community just automatically, so that you can keep your community clean, basically.
Let's go.
Yeah, so a little glimpse of the future and then the full set. We were playing with this morning. So what does the Skool cat have in his set? So basically he's got a risk score, which will be one of our tools that we continue to update. This looks at many signals and tells you if we think someone's high risk. AutoMod, which is able to flag things for you. And then the spam trap and the DMs, which just totally separates things. So these are the 3 kind of tools that we think will be very useful for
AutoMod.
Managing your community.
Let's go. Very cool.
And a shout out to
now School of the Week.
Schools of the Week.
Sorry, did you say something, Sharon?
A shout out to his trench coat. The Skool cat dresses so sharp. I love his little briefcase of mod tools. Very cool.
Bana Win.
This community is really interesting.
So Bana Win has a...
Got this before he goes on this. I love this feature of Skool News. I love when they actually, I think you do as well actually, when they actually drill down into communities that are doing well, and even these obscure communities as well that you've never heard of, or you wouldn't ever think of dreaming that something like that would work really well on Skool. I love this part of Skool when they do this.
It's my favourite part. Absolutely. And what I love recently, I don't know whether this is a trend that's going to continue, but I hope it does. Before, when they would highlight a community, it would be the ones who had won the school games and they were making $400,000 MRR. And it always made me think, like, if you're not making $400,000 a month, what are you even doing with your time, Shaz? It was almost depressing. But now they're really highlighting, hey, this guy started just, 3 months ago or whatever, and they're only charging $5 a month, and they're making, $100 or $1,000 or whatever they're making. But they're really doing lower ticket ones now, and really niche ones that make me feel, actually, I could do that. That's more achievable. And so I'm really, and I think people in my community are loving it too, because I'm clipping the ones that are similar to their communities. And showing it to them and saying, hey, did you know that there's this one? And most of the time, I'm so proud of my community, they go, yeah, she's in my community or I'm in her community or whatever, and they're already connected.
Very cool.
But when they're not connected, they love it. They love that kind of content because it's, when you find a niche, like you said, you wouldn't go searching for accordion people necessarily or whatever. But when you find someone that has got that community, it generally opens up hundreds more people who love that niche. So it's really thrilling for people. This is my favourite part of School News by far.
Excellent. Thanks, Sharon. Let's play the rest.
Community called Harmony.
About golden ratio frequencies.
Very cool looking community. And so he is making 11,111 MRR, which is...
That's crazy.
That's Harmony.
That's got to be a golden ratio.
And he's charging $15 a month for his community. He's making 11 grand a month. And if we look at how he's getting his members...
Instagram.
So basically, he's got an Instagram profile. He drives traffic to his about page.
Yep.
He gets members, they sign up, and then we can see his Instagram here.
And for a lot of people, it's as simple as that. You have a social media profile, you put your school link in your bio, you send them to your about page, they join, and then you can make money.
Yep. So very cool to see that community.
What do you think about that community, Sharon? I'm a massive fan of this. I mean, obviously, this is not my space, but the fact that he's grown his membership so much in such a short space of time, and he's just using Instagram as the main vehicle to actually, support and drive traffic to his school community, I think this is amazing.
I do too. I'm like, round of applause for Barin. That's just something I would never even think of. If you locked me in a room for 70 years and told me to come up with a school community idea, I wouldn't even get there. But he's done it and he's making money and he's not gouging people. He's charging, a really low fee, and it's just
$15 is really reasonable, right?
It is, yeah. And I'm glad that people have responded. Good.
Excellent. Thank you.
Then what else have we got? Lizzie Townsend.
Yeah, this is a niche community. So we've seen communities about crocheting. That's very cool. But this is not just a community for crocheting. It's a community for crocheting for people who love fantasy. So they make like fantasy little crochet figures.
Very cool.
That's very cute.
So, the Fantasy Makers Guild, crochet for fantasy stuff, $5 a month.
Yep.
And she is making $100 MRR.
Yep.
And if we see where her members are coming from, she's getting members from Instagram and Skool.
Nice.
And if we look at her traffic sources, she is... So Instagram is driving 58% of her members, followed by Skool, which is driving like 20%.
Nice.
So, Skool has this kind of tailwind effect where if you drive traffic from off the platform, then Skool starts to give you members too.
Yeah. Eventually it would be so cool if it was like you give a member, you get a member. That would be really cool, where it's like 50%. That link, if you click on that, it's our second link.
Yeah.
By the way, for the person that owns this group, you'll get way more people join your group if you make that Skool link in bio the first one. Just a little tip.
Yep.
So what do you think of Lizzie's community then? I mean, it's not the largest community, and I think it goes back to what you were saying as well. They're not now just showing the large communities that are doing like 400,000 a month. They're showing a small community like this. It's a lovely niche. In fact, it's a niche within a niche within a niche, which is amazing. It's amazing that Lizzie has made this work. But I'm not a person that crochets, but I would love to actually have a look into this community and just see what she's doing.
I think you could be a good hooker if you tried, Des. I noticed, I don't know if you noticed, I don't even know if Caroline Franz noticed, but the first screen that they went to had the crochet circle on it again.
Oh, did it? I didn't even notice that.
Yes. So Caroline is just punching above her weight with Skool News, just hidden little Easter eggs in the Skool News where she gets a little shout out of her community.
Good
but
for
anyway,
her. Good for her, I think.
This is one of those examples where I saw it and I was like, I know someone in my community who has a crochet community. I'm going to just clip this bit of Skool News and let her know about it. And so I put it in her community as a post. And lo and behold, who's in that community but Lizzie Townsend? And she's like, yes, Sharon. So we were community
Is Lizzie
members.
in Caroline's community as well then?
Lizzie is in Caroline's community, and I didn't even know that I was in a community with Lizzie. And she gave me all these tips about how she's been monetizing and what's been working and what's not working.
Awesome.
And so it was a great connect again, just through like a really niche kind of community.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So I'm happy for both of them really, and it's just showing that a niche within a niche within a niche actually still works on Skool. If you've got something you're passionate about and something that you want to share with the world, there's no reason why you can't just create a Skool and just see how it goes. Lizzie's able to make it work, so there's no reason why you can't either.
Yeah, well, someone did some research on the billion and trillion dollar companies, the tech companies, and they said all of them, almost without exception, started on the fringes. So, like, for instance, Facebook started with, you had to be going to Harvard University. You had to be living like on site in the dorms, and it was about meeting other students and the status of other students, right? So that's really, really fringe. You literally couldn't be a part of it if you were part of mainstream anywhere else other than Harvard University campus. So now, today, it's obviously expanded, and all of these niche ones that think, I'm just fantasy crochet or I'm just accordion time or whatever they are, you never know where that could lead in the future, because starting on the fringes is the recipe for success to monetizing in the mainstream eventually. Find those passionate people first.
Absolutely. Thanks for that, Sharon. Let's play the rest.
He's been making really cool posts in Schoolers as well. Lizzie has been making some great posts documenting her journey in Schoolers.
Yep, and it's cool to see things evolve too on the platform, because it started we just had some crochet communities.
Yeah.
But now we're getting these unique combinations, which is like crochet for fantasy.
Yeah.
Right, which is like we've had beekeeping communities, and then last week we had spiritual beekeeping.
True.
So it's like, it's just the natural evolution of things. Once there's one type of things there, it might combine with other types. And both of those types individually are successful categories on Skool, because we've got a lot of fantasy communities, a lot of crochet ones. Someone created the combination. We had beekeeping, we had spirituality. Someone combined them.
There's this concept that I came up with that I didn't steal from anyone, that's weird works on the internet.
Very nice.
You're not going to claim credit for that?
Fine, whatever. So where am I? And then we have this gentleman called Joachim Monson. So he has a community called Accordion Time, where he basically helps you make real music progress as an accordion player.
Yep.
and you get a bunch of benefits. It's a free community. And how he gets his members, basically 100% Skool, which is cool to see. These are becoming more common, and it tends to happen when you're doing something unique because people will search for it, right? Like, and if we look at his traffic sources, we can see that Skool Network is driving 61%.
Nice.
And this is a good example because this guy, Joachim, has social and he points traffic to Skool with his link in bio. He has Instagram, he has YouTube, he has all of these things. He makes content, he sends traffic towards his community, but he doesn't have a huge audience, right?
Yep.
It works to get things going a bit. And then the Skool Network is contributing a lot here.
Yep.
But I swear the communities that tend to work really well with the Skool Network are ones that are like a niche interest where someone can search for it and they find it. Because we have another guy who has a ukulele community, and he was shocked because he posted about it nowhere. He didn't market it at all, but he was getting 10, 20 members because people were searching for ukulele.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people...
What do you think of Joachim's community, Sharon?
Oh, how good is that? Not something, again, that I would have thought of to have a Skool community. And one of the things that I love is that in his testimonials, one of the testimonials on his front page of the About page is, he is the nicest accordion teacher in the world. Yeah. And I just think... nice. That's the essence of a community. If you haven't started your own community and you're thinking, I have to be this mega expert in it, no. You just have to be someone who wants to connect with people and be a decent human being and talk about the things that you love or you like, and you can start charging for that. Like, he only charges very low ticket. He's got low members because he's just, starting, but the people that find him think that he's world class. He's not just nice, he's the nicest in the world at it. So I really like this community.
And what's interesting, there's a little bit of a theme going on. Obviously, we're big fans of YouTube, but it seems like, especially in these little niche topics, Instagram is doing really well for them, isn't it?
Yeah, and I heard today Mr. Beast talking at a business conference, and he just had this throwaway line of, some women do Instagram and they don't ever go on YouTube. And so he was talking about, if you want to have a mass audience, you've got to be on all the platforms. And it just made me realize, like, people come up to Mr. Beast at various events and say, I love what you're doing on the Amazon games or whatever. And he'll say to them, do you watch me on YouTube? And they go, do you do YouTube? And he's like, yeah, I'm a YouTuber. But the audience is so fragmented, and some people are so loyal to just one platform that you've got to pick the ones where, you love it and you can spend time there. And don't worry about all the others until you need to be on all the others. Like, the one thing that Mr. B said was, I now have a production team of 300 people. So he can do content that's just for Fortnite or just for Roblox or just for these tiny little niche platforms. But, for us, I think just pick YouTube if that's the one you want to do, or pick Instagram if that's the one you want to do. Because Skool, if you give it any tailwind at all, Skool will help you out. Absolutely.
I'll tell you what I'm finding as well, though, Sharon, is we make a YouTube video and then we use a piece of software called Opus Clip, which obviously you've heard about, and we cut those up into shorts and reels. And what we're doing is we're repurposing our shorts basically to Instagram. Now, I'm not on Instagram really. I don't go on that platform. I literally just send my content over there. But we've started to recognize now that when you type in a keyword where we've actually made a video for, the actual Instagram post is now, or the reel is now actually starting to show up in Google search results. So to be honest with you, even though we don't spend that much time on there, we do repurpose our content, and it is actually showing up. So even though you're not on that platform, you can still concentrate just on one platform. But as long as you repurpose the other platforms, you will start to get the mileage out of that as well.
Yeah, well, one of the things that Instagram does is these things called trial reels. Have you heard of that? Where if you just go down a bit, you'll see there's the option to make it a trial reel. And what a trial reel is, it doesn't post it to your grid or your account. It just sends it out to non-followers. And if it goes okay with them, then it will send it to your followers as well and a wider audience. So trial reels are a really great way to see if your content is going to land on Instagram. And if it does, it can really take off really quickly. So that's a great thing to do.
Is that something you've used on your Instagram channel, Sharon?
Pardon?
Is that something that you've used on your Instagram channel, the trial reels?
Yeah, I have just recently. Someone talked about trial reels and I was like, what's a trial reel? I hadn't tried it before. And so I've only just tried it in this last week because I think it's such a good idea where you can do content that doesn't affect your current followers. And so if I started talking about something completely different, my followers would be like, what's going on? But I can do a trial reel for that and see if that's something that my followers would be interested in. And it will only post once other people have shown, yeah, that's interesting to people who don't even know you. So it's just the content that's doing the work. So I think that's a really good use of trial reels. And Opus Clip is perfect for that because you don't have to do any of the editing. It does it all for you, right?
Exactly. Well, thanks for that. Let's carry on.
Most people on Skool have a tiny, tiny audience, if no audience at all. And sometimes a small audience can be really, really, really powerful. You don't need hundreds of thousands of followers. Sometimes 1,000 followers, 500 followers can build a really, really strong community.
I think this is a perfect example of not having a big audience, just starting to do the thing anyway.
Yep.
And it's starting to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even the people that had a big audience started with no audience. So it's just a part of the progress.
Yep. And speaking of Joachim and his accordion community, he did a post in Schoolers and he played the school news theme on the accordion. So let's check it out. Oh. Very nice.
No, you have to listen to the end. I can't believe you did that. That was the best bit at the end. Oh no.
Too late now.
Oh.
So Joachim, you're the man. We like your community. We like your video. And Insta who? So there's a bunch of these posts that are always happening. We're starting to notice these things happen more and more. And basically Lindsay is saying, am I the only one who has replaced social media with Skool? It's just way better here. And there's tons of people saying the same thing. And we've noticed this a lot. Like Skool is starting to replace people's social media diet, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pause it there, Sharon. We probably don't need to watch any more of this because this is something that I'm noticing a lot as well. So many members now are just saying that they used to be on other social media platforms, but they're on Skool much more. And I must admit, I wasn't a big social media person, but I spend the vast majority of my day on Skool. I think it's amazing. We've met some really great people. We've met and we're collaborating now. It's just such a great place to meet new people, collaborate, and build a community at the same time.
Yeah, well, again, one of the things that blew my mind about Mr. Beast today was he said that 2% of all human time is spent on YouTube. So a lot of people, like if you take 8 billion people on the planet and all of the things that they could be doing, and 2% of all that total humanity time is spent on just one social media platform, it tells you just how big all the social media platforms are together. And for people to be noticing, hey, people are turning away from those things and spending more time on school. Just imagine how much time people can spend on school. Now, I know you and me and a lot of the people that we know are spending much more than 2% of our time. So 2% of your time, like everyone gets 168 hours in a week. So if you spend 3 1/3 hours doing anything, that's 2% of your time in a week. I would spend much more than 3 1/3 hours on school in a week, and I know you would too. So people are starting to spend as much time on schoolers as they are on YouTube or any other social media platform that they were a year ago or 2 years ago. The diets are changing, and I think that's really exciting for the future of school and for all of our communities.
It is. And it just makes sense, doesn't it, really? If you're building a community, which then means you're building a business, it just means you're going to spend more time on the platform. And also, I mean, you're not just in your own community, you're in other communities as well. So it's not just that you're in your own community doing your own thing and not worrying what anyone else is doing. If you pop into maybe 5, maybe 10 different communities, just spend a bit of time in there. It just means as a whole, we're all spending more time on this platform. So I actually think it's a good thing. And you don't get the negativity that you get on platforms like Facebook, for example. Again, I was never a Facebook person and never really went on there. I never really posted that much stuff. But just going by people's feedback, they really didn't like the platform. They didn't feel it was a very safe place. And yeah, a lot of people are just migrating from those platforms onto Skool.
And when they get to school, they're using their creativity in a way that they haven't on other platforms. So if you look at what Joachim did with the accordion, he didn't just feed it to his own community who are passionate about the accordion. He was like, what would be really interesting to a community like schoolers, which has nothing to do with the accordion? So he took the school news theme, used his skill on the accordion, and made a creative post that caught the eye of Sam and Kirby. And so people are using Skool different to the way that they use Instagram, YouTube, all of the others.
Absolutely. So listen, you guys have watched Skool News with us this week. What is your favourite part of Skool News? What did you find that was most interesting? Is there a feature that you're really looking forward to? Is there a feature that you're using now that they mentioned? And are you a member of any of those communities that I showed you? Or are they in communities that you're in, just like Sharon was with the lady doing the crochet? Please leave a comment down below and let us know which one of those is the most popular or resonates with you. So that's the end of the podcast. Thank you so much. We're going to look to try and do this every week, or every week that there is a Skool News. And we hope you come along with us. Sharon, again, has her own community called Onliners. Sharon, where can we also find you?
Well, Onliners is just about on every social media platform, but YouTube and TikTok and Skool is probably the best place to find me, and all of them funnel into Skool anyway. So I would really love people to...
Sorry, and what's Onliners about, sorry?
Onliners is, I really like helping people who are over 50 that haven't yet made any money online. I know people who've spent years, they've bought software, they've been on consulting calls, they've had the coaching, they've done the courses, and they still haven't made it work. I love helping those people earn their first dollar, and I do it in under 7 minutes because I just want to show people it's really easy when you find someone who knows what they're talking about to actually get it done. And so that's what Onliners is all about, making your first dollar online.
Excellent. Well, Sharon, thank you so much for joining me this week. And look forward to seeing you in next week's episode.
Thank you, Des. See ya.
Ciao. That was great, Sharon. Thank you very much. Just going to click stop there. Yes.